Hey everyone, how you doing out there? It's Joe and Darren over at Urban Hillsides. I see you're wearing your shirt, Darren. That's nice. And
Yeah.
we are here for another edition of Real Estate Reality. So thanks for joining us. Uh, Darren, I've been trying to get my ergonomic setup figured out. So guys, I've got a different setup here. So there might be a little bit of a pause at times figuring it out, but thanks for your patience. Getting healthier and better. Okay, so look, we are going to do the usual. We're going to talk about solds in the last 7 days, actives that are interesting in the last 7 days, and go over the local market, that is Northeast Los Angeles, the communities of Silver Lake, Echo Park, Los Feliz, all those awesome places. And we'll talk about a subject. The subject today is kind of tying in, Darren, right, with last week. Last week we talked about reverse mortgages and how they're not your grandma's mortgage. There are other loan products that might help a buyer right now. And one today that we're going to talk about is 321 buy downs. So may not be for everyone, but we're going to talk about it, and we'll look for these other opportunities as well for buyers, because it's certainly a crazy market. In terms of mortgage rates, we'll also talk about that. So I think we should just get started. All right. Let me do the disclaimer. Hold on. Bear with. Let's see. Off we
Urban
go.
Hillsides brand. All opinions
Well,
expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only.
all right. Well said. Well said. Uh, so, Darren, I'm looking at the list here, and one of the things that we should talk about is our new listing and our open house this Sunday. So let me go ahead and share the screen again, turning to Urban Hillsides, and you can give us at least a summary of what's going on. Not on the market yet, right? Uh,
Sure. We'll be on the market probably by end of day today, early tomorrow. First showing, first open on Sunday.
okay.
This is 1503 Benton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Long time connection for me to this family uh,
Yes.
and to this house. It's a beautiful Spanish colonial revival. It was
Yeah.
updated in the early 80s, maintains a lot of its 1933 interior charm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Great. It's move-in ready condition, but some of the kitchens, bathrooms, well, all the kitchens and bathrooms are would be considered dated. But a great opportunity for somebody to improve those. Don't have to be improved immediately. They all
Mm-hmm.
function quite well. No major issues with the property.
Yeah.
It's 5 bedroom, 3 bath house with a detached studio over an oversized garage.
Yeah.
Fantastic for somebody in the entertainment industry or an at-home office if you need good space. It's so nice that that part of it is down at the street, like really detached,
All
separately
right.
gated
Right
from the
there.
house.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a lovely home in a great neighborhood with upside potential still.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited about showing this weekend.
Great. So Sunday, 2 to 5, 1503 North Benton Way. For now, we have some images on the site. One of the things, Darren, I know we were talking about is the view, and it's a pretty amazing view at night. So I chose that one. It's right there in your face. And then, some of these other just kind of faves, I was trying to pick out just a couple, is beautiful living room, some great architectural elements to the place, including this beautiful window there on the stairway coming in.
Yeah, yeah, nice
Additional
ironwork inside.
additional fireplaces.
3 of them total. Yep.
Yeah. And this front studio, At first I called it a unit because I'm like, oh, you could rent that out. But you're right? It could be an office, a workspace, and a short commute from the house, which is nice. So,
Yep.
all right, well, great. So check it out. You can look at the site, and we'd love to see you on Sunday, 2 to 5.
That is
Okay.
interesting, though. I love the short commute from the house. The house is all the way at the back.
Mm,
The studio is all the way at the front. It's as far as you can
mm-hmm.
get on the lot from one end to the
Mm-hmm.
other end.
Yeah. Right. Still feel like you've got a commute. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on to part of our market snapshot, and it really starts with mortgagenewsdaily.com. So let me just bring that up. Mm-hmm.
Right, and as you pull that up, Joe, I'll just say, we all understand mortgage rates are driving the market these days,
Yeah.
and the Fed has their hand on that pulse and are manipulating them in a way to try to maintain the overall economy. So we're kind
Right.
of, we're at a 20-year high we've matched at
Mm-hmm.
this point. It's been a long time since interest rates have been this high. So today's topic that you located is right on point
Mm-hmm.
about how to
Mm-hmm.
address this. So go ahead.
Well, there it is. You said this is a historic, 22 years. It hasn't been this high.
Mhm.
7.37%, 30-year fixed mortgage as of today. If we look at the week as we go down, it just went up, up, up. Um, so not good news there.
Every
The
day.
trend,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. As we look at the rest of it, um, let me go here. Um, there we go. So you see 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed, 6.75%. 30-year jumbo, 7.3%. 5/1 ARM, 7.17. 30-year FHA, 7.05. And then the 30-year VA, 7.08. So all into the sevens except that 15-year fixed. So yeah, as far as the trend right now, it is moderately weaker. So trying to get into that minimal at least, but it's in a negative trend for sure. Um, Anything else? That's the truth. That's the bad news. There we go. Anything else, Darren?
Yeah. It's hard to determine who this helps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the obvious is it does put downward pressure on
Mm-hmm.
pricing.
Yep.
It makes existing pricing less affordable for buyers. So it's hurting buyers and sellers as rates
Mm-hmm.
rise. Who does
Mm-hmm.
it potentially help? Future buyers. It's the
Yep.
only category of people it potentially helps because what they're hoping that maybe it drags down the prices a little bit. But there's certainly no guarantee it's going to do that. And most of what we hear is not supporting future price decreases.
Okay. Well, there we go. Let's go ahead and move on to, excuse me, our subject, which might help some people. Let's hope.
Yeah.
I'll go
I'll
and
just
share here.
quickly
Yeah.
paraphrase before you jump into that. So when things get tough, what do people start doing? I mean, we're resilient. We look for other options, other products. You can
Mm-hmm.
go all the way back to 15 years ago and talk about the crazy products they came up with. And there were plenty of them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they were combining too many non accountable components. No down, bad credit score, no job. Probably not a good
Mm-hmm.
person to give a loan to.
Right.
But here, a 3-2-1 buy down, just as a quick paraphrase, is it's still a fixed rate option. It is allowing you a little bit of a gap to accept a
Mm-hmm.
lower payment to get in and find comfort. But it converts to fixed, and you know what that fixed number is. So
Yeah.
it's a stable option, certainly in the world of alternative financing options.
Yep.
So
Well,
go
let me go
for it.
ahead and get into it. For those that want to follow along, I did put the link for reference, so you can check this out yourself. But yeah, this comes from investopedia.com. Here we go. All right, 321 buy down mortgage, meaning pros and cons. and FAQs. A 321 buy-down mortgage is a type of home loan that can help would-be home buyers achieve their goal of home ownership when high mortgage rates threaten to price them out of the market. The loan interest rate is reduced for the first 3 years of the loan term. In the fourth year, the original rate is applied and remains for the life of the mortgage. Read on to learn how 321 buy-down mortgage works and whether one may be right for your needs. So key takeaways: with a 321 buy-down mortgage, the borrower pays a lower than normal interest rate over the first 3 years of the loan. The loan interest rate is reduced by 3% in the first year, 2% in the second year, 1% in the third year. For example, a 5% mortgage would be just 2% in year one. Okay. After the buy-down period ends, the lender charges the full interest rate for the remainder of the mortgage term. Buy-downs are often used by sellers, including home builders, to help buyers afford a property. How 321 buy-down mortgages work. A buy-down is a mortgage financing technique that allows a home buyer to obtain a lower interest rate for at least the first few years of the loan or possibly its entire life. It is similar to the practice of buying discount points on a mortgage in return for a lower interest rate, except that it is temporary. Typically, the seller or home builder, sometimes even the mortgage lender, covers the cost of the 321 buy-down. The cost equates to the savings to the buyer in the first 3 years. In general, 321 buy-down loans are available only for primary and secondary homes, not for investment properties. The 321 buy-down is also not available as part of an adjustable rate mortgage with an initial period of fewer than 5 years. The interest rate for a 321 buy-down mortgage is reduced by 3% for the first year, 2% for the second year, and 1% for the third year. The original interest rate then kicks in for the remaining term of the loan. By contrast, a 2-1 buy-down, the rate is reduced by 2% for the first year, 1% for the second year, and then rises to the original rate when the buy-down period ends. All right, so pros and cons of a 321 buy-down mortgage. Darren, hold on. I got to get this chihuahua.
I can't hear anything, by the way.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Here, I don't know what he's saying.
Ah, the joys
I can tell you
of
bugging
home
me.
office, man. Nice.
This is the culprit right here.
I
Yeah.
can't lift mine up that easily, man. 110 pounds. That's a little harder to move around.
All right, well, let's get back into it. Pros and cons of a 321 buy-down mortgage. So the pros are a 321 buy-down mortgage can be an attractive option for home buyers when mortgage rates are high enough to discourage a home purchase. They give home sellers a way to entice buyers in challenging housing markets. Buy-down loans can be advantageous for borrowers who may not have the needed funds today, but expect to have higher incomes in future years. Over the first 3 years of lower monthly payments, borrowers can set aside cash for other expenses, such as home repairs or remodeling. When the loan finally resets to its permanent interest rate, borrowers have the certainty of knowing what their payments will be for years to come, which can be useful for budgeting. A fixed-rate 321 buy-down mortgage is less risky than an ARM or a variable-rate mortgage, where rising interest rates could mean higher monthly payments in the future. Okay, the cons. A potential downside of a 321 buy-down mortgage is that it may lull the borrower into buying a more expensive home than they can afford. The lower monthly costs are temporary, and home buyers must be prepared for a jump in payments. Borrowers who assume that their income will rise enough to afford future payments could find themselves in financial troubles if this fails to occur. Let's see who subsidizes 321 buy-down mortgages? The savings experienced by the home buyer in the first 3 years of a buy-down mortgage term represent the cost of a 321 buy-down mortgage. Typically, the cost is covered by someone other than the buyer, the seller, home builder, or even the lender. For example, motivated sellers might be willing to pay the cost in order to attract buyers and close the deal. In some circumstances, a company that's moving an employee to a new city might cover the buy-down cost to ease the expense of relocation. More commonly, real estate developers will offer buy-downs as incentives to potential buyers of newly built homes. Is a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage right for you? As mentioned, it can be risky to get a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage on the assumption that your income will rise sufficiently over the next 3 years so that you'll be able to afford the mortgage payments when they reach their maximum level. For that reason, you must consider how secure your job is and whether unforeseen circumstances could make your house payments unmanageable once you reach the fourth year. In addition, if by some chance you have to pay for the buy down on your own, then the key question to ask yourself is whether paying the cash up front is worth several years of lower payments that you'll receive in return. For example, you may have other uses for the money, such as investing it or using it to pay off other debts with higher interest rates, like credit cards or car loans. If you have the cash to spare and don't need it for anything else, then a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage could make sense. The question is easier to answer when another party foots the bill for the buy down, but even then, ask yourself whether the maximum monthly payments will be affordable. Could the enticingly low initial rates lead you to want a more expensive home and take on a larger mortgage than makes sense financially? You'll also want to make sure that the home is fairly priced in the first place and that the seller isn't padding the price to cover the buy down cost. What does a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage cost? The cost of a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage is the total amount that the buyer saves over the 3-year period of lower rates. Who pays for a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage? Usually the seller, home builder, or lender pays the cost of buy down mortgage. Employers will sometimes pay for a buy down if they are relocating an employee to another area and want to ease the financial burden. Sometimes the borrower may pay for it. Well, it's kind of repeating itself, but
Yeah.
What do you think, man? What do you think of this product?
Well, you know, I like it that it's approaching it from a conservative perspective, and it keeps talking about um, an increase in future income, and that's clearly probably the most likely scenario.
Right.
It could be, somebody is going to go back to work in a year. Maybe one family member is going to do that. So that's clearly an increase in income based on that.
Yep.
It could also be, yes, trying to increase cash flow in the first few years if you plan on doing improvements, knowing that you can afford the future number. It could be that you can just convince a seller to do it for you, but the relative point they bring up is make sure you're not overpaying for the house in the process of doing that. So I think there are a good amount of scenarios where this is just a win-win for the buyer. The one scenario where it's and the fact that it becomes fixed after the 3 years and isn't going to adjust makes it a no-risk product, as long as you truly are comfortable paying that the full amount, the fourth year amount going into it, and are good at planning for that.
So the question that I had is, can you refi this later?
Of
Or
course
they
you
want a
can.
certain, right? So,
No,
but at that fourth or fifth year, are they requiring at least a minimum?
no, there's no
So
prepayments
you
in
could,
this.
okay,
They're actually collecting all that money up front from who's ever paying for it. It doesn't make sense to pay for it yourself because you're now paying that money in advance that you would end up paying anyways. So yeah, you can own the house for 2 years and sell it, and get the tax benefits of owning it for 2 years, or sell at any point. There are not prepayment penalties attached to these.
okay,
So
all right. Well, that's
there really
that's
aren't.
the out I wanted to hear.
Yeah, there are not additional constraints. I mean, the other potential, right, which they didn't talk about in this article at all, is, I'm always concerned about people planning for the future. When I hear a buyer say, "Well, I'm willing to make that payment now, but I'll just plan on refinancing in 2 years and rates are lower," you can't count on that in that scenario.
Right.
You've got to be willing to buy with today's rates. And of course, if rates are lower in the future, you're going to refinance, you and everyone else. And that's fantastic. It could be a better bridge to that refinance option if it comes. You're going to be getting that lower. You can say, I'm comfortable in this range. And after a couple of years, maybe I don't want to pay that big payment. Do I have an out? Does it make sense to sell as my rate resets?
Yeah.
Who knows where house value, that relates then to future house values. So case by case scenario, but it's a
Yeah.
nice product that could really help some people get into a house
Mm-hmm.
who can have some semi predictable future changes in their financial situation.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. We'll look for some other opportunities like this for buyers in the future as well, I think. I know you mentioned a couple already, so
Yep.
we'll keep following up.
Cool.
Okay. Well, let's move on. We're going to go to sold top picks. We're going to go through Northeast LA, the market that we see over the last 7 days, how it's developed. And then we'll get into some seller wins and then buyer wins. So let me go ahead and pull up my email. Uh, it is. Okay. All right. Um, Working this on one screen is feel weird. Okay, let's go ahead and share my email to Darren and the troops at Urban Hillsides, and let's go through the first numbers. So this week, 18 solds. Last week it was 10, so that was a nice up. Pendings, 18 again, 16 last week, and then actives, 28. Last week it was 28, so that remained. In terms of days on market, went back down to that 15 days on the market median. And then as far as percentage of list price, we were at, let's see, it looks like here 103%. And last week it was 103%. So not much change there. Um, Anything else you noticed about the market this week, Darren, in Northeast LA?
I think the current trends have been stable for
Mm,
3 to 4 weeks now. There's a little
yeah,
more pullback. Things are taking a little longer to sell,
yeah,
but nothing overly dramatic. All the normals, good properties, well staged properties, well presented properties are selling quickly and
yeah.
still selling at over list price.
Okay. Well, great. Well, let's move on and see some seller wins and buyer wins.
Cool.
The first one we are going to go run off to is 4714 Via Mia. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Uh, Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Um, Bear with me here. All right. Well, let's go through the numbers real quick. So this is 4714 Via Mia. It is El Sereno, 1 bedroom, 1 bath there, and 828 square feet. Sold for $1,050,000, and it's on a 5,700 square foot lot. And let's go ahead and see what the buyer saw. This took 14 days on the market, and just to give credit where credit's due, Ingborg Nanny Jacobson represented the seller, and Ikam, my God, these names, Ikam T. Chukwumerji represented the buyer. So let's see the pictures real quick. Um,
I look at this and on as you pull it up there on one level, I'm like, of
mm-hmm.
course this thing sold over. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
A wonderful mid-century, so many original details, unpainted, untainted wood,
Yeah.
connected to what looks like open space in El Sereno, and just who doesn't want to live there? And then I'm like, 1 bedroom. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
drawback.
Well, hang on. Let me see if I can make this work.
So 1 bedroom in El Sereno selling for over $1 million. Hmm. That's not normal.
Yeah. And you know, the funny thing is, hold on, let me see if I can make this work. Funny thing is, not a great area. Are you familiar? It's like when you're going up to the kind of condoville,
Sure.
townhouseville.
Yep.
Uh, it's like, yeah, whatever. Uh, let's see.
Well, yeah. I mean, the house again feels connected to nature. I don't know. I can't tell how big that pool is exactly. It certainly looks a little small, but
Yeah,
nice prep. Got lots of
yeah,
light. Look at
yeah.
that. It's a lovely space,
It's beautiful wood. Yeah, they took really nice care of it.
and
Staged nicely.
it just looks out onto nature out there. Even the cabinets they added look to be done well.
Yeah.
Um, there are some people that, a second bedroom is an office. You can work in your living room as well as a second
Mm-hmm.
bedroom. So,
Yeah.
yeah, somebody can be super happy there, man.
Yeah. Or maybe there's enough room, maybe, to add an ADU somewhere. Or yeah, convert the garage, something,
Sure.
to make it a little better. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. I think I'm figuring this out. Let's see. Um, okay, let's move on now to, we're going to go to 1607 North Benton Way. Gee,
Hmm.
it's in our neighborhood. Let me just look this up.
Yeah, just a block up from our new listing. This one's different
Yeah.
though. It's a two on a lot.
Oh, it is a two and a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that's all right. So 1607 North Benton Way, 1,125,000 was the list price. Landed at 1,375,000. That's a $250,000 increase, 122% of its list price, and yeah, 13 days on the market. So let's see what they saw.
Yeah, it's not particularly an architectural gem. It's on a great street, nice neighborhood. I believe one unit came vacant, um, and so
There
it'll
it
be some
goes.
good rental income.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Opportunity, lovely 3-2 bath, Silver Lake home, sprawling 6,900 square feet, located on a quiet residential street. Yeah. ADU possibilities it's touting. Uh, I didn't see the two on the lot. Okay. Huh. All right. Oh, there it is. That little guy in the back. I see it.
Yep.
Nice. What do you think? Good deal? Bad deal? Decent?
It's a good price for the neighborhood.
Right?
Is the
Yeah.
bottom line. So and the price they listed at was
Yeah. Too low.
very low. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That this was expected to go up when it first came out. We said it would go up.
Yeah. Yeah. When we saw it. Okay. Now we're going to go run down to 4629 San Andreas Avenue. This listed at 1,695,000, landed at 1,650,000. $45,000 reduction, 97% of its list price. And this was a funky one, man. This has been on the market, I feel like, forever.
I saw this
Uh,
one
right? I
a
saw it.
long time ago. Gosh, I
You
feel like it
probably
was
all
in
saw it, right?
February,
Yeah.
March. It was a while
Yeah, yeah,
ago.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me do the numbers super quick. 4629 San Andreas Avenue. This is Mount Washington. 4 bedroom, 4 bath, 1,827 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,650,000. 5,900 square foot lot. It says 54 days on the market. I think it's been there longer.
Oh, it's been
Original
there
list
much
price.
longer.
Yeah, right. A lot longer. 1,849,000 was its original price. And this is accomplished by Tara Ozanian and Elizabeth Capola for the seller. And on the buy side, Megan Wilson Brad Holmes and Joanna Soul. So congrats to them. Let me quickly bring up what this thing looks like. Let's see here.
It's interesting. I mean, we could go back and do our research
Uh-huh.
and find out some of the history here. But as you mentioned, it was a higher price to start. It was probably canceled and relisted, so you're not seeing a super long history. It's just understanding some of the things that happen in a more balanced market. Every home doesn't fly off the shelf right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're also, it's not uncommon to have improvements midstream.
Mm-hmm.
Sellers can be stubborn. You know, property can go to market, and if it doesn't sell, they can take a position of, I'm just going to wait until somebody comes. But that
Yeah.
somebody doesn't always come.
Yeah.
And the opportunity there then is to, you know, an agent can see a property or listing agent and come up with ideas on how to maximize the return, but then you're going to get hundreds of people that come through. They're going to come up with even more ideas.
Yeah.
And a good agent will, you know, be open-minded and digest that and
Yeah.
consider giving that feedback to a seller, maybe again, to get them the most they can for the property. And maybe some of that happened here. Maybe there were some alterations to finally get it sold.
Yeah, I have to say, I remember honestly, I went here with a client. I think this was a year ago, man.
It,
Maybe a
it
little
was a
longer.
long time ago. It may
Right.
have been last year. It's possible.
And it all looks, I don't think they made any changes because it all, nice finishes, looks good, presents well. I did note though, a lot of stairs. I think that was a downer for them because they had kids and it was just a little too much up and down and it was just a little disjointed. Maybe the spaces were a little small. There was a rental opportunity below, or a studio, or an office. So there was a rental opportunity there, maybe. But yeah, they had really look at that was one of the distinguishing marks is the closet doors and some of the
Mm-hmm.
wood treatments. But yeah, it just makes me scratch my head. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, let's move on to. Let's see here. We're gonna go to. Uh, 2531 Mount Beacon. This started at a list price of $3,995,000, landed at $3,750,000, $245,000 reduction, 94% of list. And let's see what they saw here. We're back to Los Feliz, Darren. So if that price didn't tell you, let's see. All right. Well,
You
let
know,
me do that.
sometimes you see these $4 million sales,
Yeah.
$4 million sales.
Yeah.
There are some distinguishing elements that you're like, oh, okay, I understand why. But
Mm-hmm.
I've got to say, man, probably more often than not, I'm a little disappointed. I'm like, man, that could have been done so much better for $4 million.
Oh, yeah.
I would have
Oh,
expected
yeah.
this to be better.
Yeah. Well, here,
Yeah.
let me just give you the numbers and then we'll take a look at the pics. So 2531 Mount Bacon Terrace. This is Los Feliz. It's in Los Feliz Oaks area. 4 bedroom, 4 bath, 3,000 square feet. Sold at $3,750,000. It's an 11,000 square foot lot. 34 days on the market. And this is brought to us by Tyrone McKellen on the listing side. Also, Deech Peter Mack. And on the buy side, Alan Glogovisian. Oh gosh, I would just change my name at that point. Let's see. Let's take a look at the pics. Um, so obviously some nice views. Um, looks a little dated. I think I wrote that in the notes. Um, I don't know if they did. Yeah, I guess they did some staging, but yeah, I don't know. Just kind of ho hum.
They're also not great photos.
Yeah.
There could have been more prep.
Yeah, outside I felt, yeah, could have been way more.
Yeah.
Just looks old.
Yeah, the photos are not dynamic by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, so
right.
not
Well, there
only
you
is
go.
there more expected of the house, in my opinion, there's also more expected of the agent and how they present it.
Good point. Good point. Okay. Well, there you go. Just a little news on the solds in the last 7 days. I'm going to switch now to your part of it, Darren. New listings. What do you have out there?
First one I picked out was 5106 San Rafael.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. 5106 San Rafael Avenue. This is Highland Park, 3 bedroom, 4 bath, 1,636 square feet of living space. Listed at $1,399,999. 4,800 square foot lot, open on 8/20. That is Sunday, 1 to 4 p.m. Only 8 days on the market so far. And let's see here, brought to us by Abigail Dotson and Leah Carr. So congrats to them. Let's take a look at, let's see here.
It's a little bit of a telltale when your exterior front photo is number 38 of 38.
Good point. Hold on. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, as you roll through the interiors, it has a very minimalist feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a
Yeah.
white on white on white.
Yeah.
Paint job, a little trim around the windows. You got a little bit of a wood effect there. It
Yeah.
feels, from the photos, feels really good inside.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
one of the reasons I picked it out. Also thought it was a decent price for that neighborhood at $1,400,000 and over 1,600 square feet. Where they didn't do a lot was clearly the outside of the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the exterior color doesn't match the vibe on the inside. They did absolutely nothing in the backyard, which is
Yeah.
quite disappointing. And you know, the front is it's very plain. If
Yeah.
if the front of your house
Mm-hmm.
is dominated by a garage door, you need to spend some money on a garage door, and you'll see what I
Right.
mean when it gets there.
Yeah.
First off, look at that backyard.
Yeah. Yeah. No effort.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Look at that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
When you said that, it made me think of what was it, 1104 Montecito Drive, and the extreme.
yes,
We went for that fence, but also the other one in the same area, right? The garage door for Latrobe.
yeah. So it's relevant, man. But that's all you see. They have some beautiful garage doors out there, and that will change the whole feeling of the curb appeal. But there's no exterior accents to draw you
Yeah.
into this house. It's amazing to me that the inside feels so good,
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah,
but not the outside. So
yeah,
we'll see where it goes. It's one of
Yeah.
those that, you know, a paint job and some landscaping could make the two match, and maybe somebody will just accept that. And
Well,
move
you were
forward.
talking about the garage door, change the garage door, but yeah, I was thinking, yeah, could you at least change the color?
Yeah.
That'd have helped.
Oh, and a paint job for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yep.
We'll see where that goes. All right.
Yeah,
what's
we
the
always
next
look for a cohesive energy,
one? Mhm.
right? And this has an interior cohesive energy. And that can even be an eclectic vibe. Everything doesn't have to match, or have a similar energy. But this is you usually don't see this much of a dramatic shift between the feel on the inside and outside.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What's next?
One other one. The only other one I picked out is 2275 Hill Drive.
Oh, oh, I think I saw this one. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at the listing. Okay. All right. So 2275 Hill Drive. This is Eagle Rock. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,903 square feet of living space at $2,499,995. Huge lot, 30,000 square foot lot. And let's see, open Sunday, the 20th, 2 to 5, and then Tuesday, 11 to 2. 2 days on the market so far. And let's see here, brought to us by Brad Keys and his associate Joshua Stein Sapir and May Baker. So congrats to them. Let's take a look at the pics. Bear with me here.
And this is truly a mix. There's some nice energy things here, some nice views, good square footage, good lot square footage, some outdoor destinations. But then, after a fire pit, some nice outdoor destinations, nice curb appeal.
Yeah.
But then there's some carpet and some dated things. But I feel like it's appropriately priced. We'll see how this market responds to it.
Yeah. I mean, it is up there by the freeway. It's like the second house from going up the hill to the freeway. But definitely some
And it's got a
views
pool.
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier if you're well below the freeway. I'm not saying that it changes the air quality completely, but it is better. It's certainly substantially better with less or minimal noise.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they got this. Yeah.
It's all one level. Anything that's one level is going to feel even bigger. So 3,000 square feet on one level is going to feel like a sprawling house.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Is that it from your side, man?
That's it, man.
Okay. All right. Well, great, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you Sunday, right? 2 to 5, of course. And anything else, Darren? That's about it.
We have another listing coming up in Studio City, if that's your neck of the woods, working on that one to get it ready.
Yep.
Both of them have some nice stairs, man. They're for youthful people.
Both Vincent and great views. That's the trade-off.
Yes. At least it comes with great views. You hate to get all the way up those stairs and look at a neighbor's wall.
Yeah.
Absolutely the case. So, and that's also a large house. That one's 3 stories. Lots of square footage. So, if that seems like a good match, then come see us and we can chat about it.
Okay. So we're looking for next week on that one. In the meantime, just have a good week. We'll see you later. Take care.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.